Hello, everyone. My name is Sergei Ananyan, and I represent the company Megaputer Intelligence. So today we will be talking about the solution for knowledge discovery, and I am going to demonstrate the solution and also provide an overview of why companies need that. The knowledge is useful only at the time when you can consume it. And frequently, the problem is that data is stored in different locations, different silos, and the people who need to make decisions do not have direct access to the insights generated from that data. For a large company, the situation can be complicated. There might be many people in the team that is supposed to formulate the agenda of the company, create memorandums for others to execute, identify possible threats, and so on. And I am going to show the solution inside D based on the pharmaceutical example because it's a perfect type of storm. So pharma companies have special teams that focus on the analysis of such data. And the problem is that a large pharma company needs to monitor all potential issues with their drugs, illnesses, different adverse events, and so on. And they have lots of different sources of data. The company opens communication channel, many communication channels with patients, doctors who can start sending questions, complaints, and so on. They also have to monitor data related to the research performed, for example, clinical studies. They need to monitor data coming from research articles, and they need to gather data from different conferences where they send attendees. So there are lots of sources of data that they need to be aware of. And they use all this data to make certain decisions. So they have to find valuable insights and then use these insights to formulate the response of the company. The analysis is quite complicated because the data frequently comes in textual form, so it's hard to extract useful information from this type of data. And the teams can be quite large. So a pharma company might have numerous teams involved in the decision making. For example, their field medical team would be a liaison between the company and healthcare professionals. They would be discussing the pluses and minuses of different drugs, their potential adverse events, and so on. Medical information team communicates information about the company products to all outside parties. Medical network team creates the relationships between the medical and scientific community and the company. And then cross-portfolio team makes strategic decisions about the company's portfolio. For example, they might need to decide what form the drug would be produced in, what would be the dosage, how it will be packaged, and many more. Each of these teams can include several hundred people in a typical pharma company. And these people are specialists in their particular domains. So one person might be a specialist, he would be supposed to know everything about a particular drug. Another person will know everything best in the world about a particular disease. And the third person might know about processes, how to register a drug with the regulators, and so on. So all these people are unique, and a team of about 300 people might formulate the agenda of a company that is 100,000 people strong. So they have to be constantly on top of different latest developments in the field related to their specific subject, and they need to monitor all available data for learning new things that are emerging for the company. The sooner they can react to some change in the business environment, the better off the company will be. So if you do the analysis manually, it's quite overwhelming. And these people in the medical teams of a pharma company, they are highly trained, very expensive, easy to lose specialists that have to formulate these decisions. If you overwhelm them with data, they will be tired, unhappy, they will not be able to produce meaningful insights. In many organizations, these processes still are performed manually. People would be searching data, they would be getting ideas and then searching the data to confirm these ideas or reject these hypotheses. And we are suggesting how to automate the process of insight discovery so they can monitor some known issues, but the system would also suggest what is missing, something new that is brewing and they're not aware of yet. So there are lots of valuable insights in these enormous amounts of data. So a pharma company might be receiving easily 1 million communications with patients and doctors a year. And of course, it becomes extremely difficult to analyze all that. The data will be filled with jargon. There are medical terms, but there also can be, for example, information about medical conferences and just the names of conferences or the names of clinical studies that they need to monitor. They can be represented by very special invented words, and people are supposed to know all these. So we propose a solution that can help extract valuable insights and communicate them in easy form to decision makers. Why do we have to do this in an easy form? It is because frequently people making decisions at companies, they are not statisticians, they're not linguists, they're not mathematicians, they can be in a pharma company, this field medical team. The representatives might have the training of a nurse or a doctor, so they need to get the insights in the most simple and manageable graphical form. They need to interact with the data to draw conclusions and quickly zoom into the information that is of value to this particular specialist on, say, that particular drug or that particular illness. So there are lots of technical challenges when dealing with large amounts of textual data. So as I mentioned, data can be in multiple silos. So you would need to create integration of these data, because frequently in a large company, different departments store their own data, and they're not talking to each other. They're not sharing the data. So it takes different efforts first to create the integration of this data, and then to just persuade stakeholders that they need to be sharing this data, and then teach decision makers how to use automated analysis tools, how to introduce it in their practice, because people tend to do things the way they have been doing it for the last 5-10 years, and they're not excited about changing things unless they see a serious benefit. So we'll be talking about these things as well. So when dealing with textual data, the data comes with lots of misspells, duplicates, different gaps in data. For example, someone forgot to include the name of the hospital from which they are communicating, or the operator in the call center forgot to do this. So this data element is lost and it is not available. So one would have to use some smart techniques to reconstruct this information. The data is complex in nature because the medical, our bodies are quite complex. There are many ways we can get sick, and there are relations between different body parts, illnesses, and so on. So we have to keep track of semantic relationships between different things and know medical jargon. And we also see data that is coming in large volumes. As I mentioned, another problem is that data might be coming at a high velocity. Since we're talking about a pharma example, when the drug had been developed, went through the clinical studies, was approved for use, the company might introduce this to several markets across the globe, and suddenly there are 100 million people that can be consuming your drug, and when you manufacture this, you cannot anticipate all the issues that are going to emerge. So people start complaining, asking questions. Something is not right in the instructions. They cannot find the correct dosage, or maybe they are taking their drugs through the X-ray machines in the airport, and they're asking whether they can be using this drug, whether it has some useful properties after that or not. So you really don't know what they're going to do. They're traveling to Africa. They have loss of electricity and many more things. So the first weeks of having the drug on the market are the most important ones. And you can anticipate certain things. You can be searching for them. But it's very hard to find something that you were not aware of so far. So the velocity of data is high. People start complaining. You have to make decisions based on that. The sooner you react to all potential problems, the better off the company is going to be. And then people who are making decisions, they have to convey the results of their analysis to the whole company. So they're creating different graphics that they include in memorandum, and so on. So the solution, the automated solution, has to support all these modes of operation of people. So this is what we are offering. So our Insight D system covers all steps of a typical process in Insight discovery. So it loads data from disparate data sources, integrates it based on the fields on which it can match data from different silos. Then it identifies different duplicates in the data and removes it, uses fuzzy logic to fill the gaps in the data, for example, the missing name of the drug or the hospital name and so on. So the data becomes complete. We check the quality of the data. Then the system extracts, performs textual analysis using both controlled ontologies and dictionaries in the medical domain. There are plenty of these, so we can rely on them. And the user can build their own dictionaries based on artificial intelligence analysis. So we can try and extract, for example, different names of clinical studies that frequently can be invented words or can represent some normal English words, but for example, all letters capitalized, and the system needs to have certain ways to tell that this is actually a medical study. So we perform normalization and standardization of data, and after that, the system is looking for insights so it can monitor data for some potential topics of interest that we're aware of. More importantly, it can identify emerging issues, something that we really did not anticipate, but the data suggests that it is coming. And such things are extremely difficult to find. So let me try and show the specific tasks that the system handles. So first, we extract insights from unstructured data. As I mentioned, for each topic, we can reveal the associated sentiment. And in different domains, sentiments are quite different. For example, if the person says that he was negative for cancer, it actually means a very positive thing in the medical domain. So we have to take into account the area, the domain in which the system operates to provide the correct sentiment analysis. And we can help building different cartridges for various application domains. Once we see the insights, for example, we see that people are complaining about the cost of the drug. So we need to identify the context. So what exactly are the problems? People might be talking about some government assistance, or the price being too high, or the drug maybe not available at this price in their area, and many other things. So providing context based on artificial intelligence technology is very important for the decision makers. And the third type of operation can be answering ad hoc questions. If you work in a large company, you frequently get requests from the management that got an idea that certain things should be of priority for you right now, and they ask you to perform the investigation of this issue. So our InsightD supports this type of ad hoc analysis as well through no-code querying of the data. And once we generate all the results, as I mentioned, we have to deliver them in a very simple way to decision makers who do not have any specialized education. They're real professionals in what they do, but they are not specialists in data analysis. So we have to be really careful and organize the results, frequently dumb down the results to provide graphical outputs that people would be able to interact with, communicate with interactively, and then organize in the reports that they need to share with their colleagues. And as I mentioned, people can be specialists in different topics. So the views that InsightD is providing, they need to be personalized to the liking of individual members of the team. And I'm going to show a few more slides talking about different capabilities of the system, so you get used to the interface, and then I can show you the actual dashboard that operates interactively. And then we'll provide a snapshot of what is actually powering the system, how it looks behind the scenes. The solution is based on our polyanalyst text and data mining platform that supports building multi-step data analysis scenarios. So on the output, let's go step by step. So first thing that I mentioned, the system can monitor known topics for you. And there is a dashboard. On the left in this dashboard, there are filters. The snapshots, the screens that I'm going to show, they are based on some invented pharma data, and correspondingly, there is a relatively small number of filters. When the solution is deployed at some large pharma companies, they actually have a larger number of filters, global filters that they're going to communicate with. So filters here are displayed on the left, and you can see different name of the drug, type of the requester, whether this question had been answered already or not. So companies are trying to check what types of questions they cannot really answer, for example. And on the right, you see the outputs, the distribution by country, the diagram showing the most frequent topics, how they're being mentioned. And in dark green here, you see known topics, in light green, something emerging. For known topics, we provide the type of the interface where the user can specify what patterns they are interested in. And then no matter what lingo people are using to describe the same issue, InsightD can capture these. So this is one type of the analysis. The second type of the analysis is discovering emerging topics. So here we already have to use linguistics, controlled dictionaries, and some AI techniques. So the system would be checking for different spikes and growth in the number of things that might be of interest to you. So it captures these patterns, scores the data, and then it can output the graph on the right that you see in the top right corner. So these are the main topics that you were not aware of. And it is really important to learn about these things as early as possible, because what you don't know yet as a company, it might be the biggest opportunity for you or the most dangerous threat. The sooner you learn about it, the better. The problem is that you do not know how to focus your attention on this issue because you don't know what to look for. So the system here InsightD will advise you that you might want to pay attention to this issue. And in our real world customers and their feedback, this is one of the main features that actually brings them the best value of the solution. So as I mentioned, it is also useful to know the sentiment by topic. So if people are talking about certain elements of, for example, the application of the drug, are they happy about it or not? And if they are, what makes them happy? What are the specific issues? So here you'll see an interactive dashboard. We'll get there in a second. So we identify the issues, and you can drill down and see specifics about it. So we provide the context, which is extremely important. And eventually, you see at the bottom right, you can drill down to the underlying data records that will support your findings, which is also important. So here you see on top, you see how we're using AI Assist. It's Megagpt. node that we have in polyanalyst. So you formulate a prompt to generate a summary, and then the system can show you, for example, that people who are, so the issue is a general complaint. There is 1% of all the issues are these complaints, and we formulate that the negative topic about the complaints is that they're about products and services, adverse reactions, hazardous events, malfunctions, and discrimination in marketing. So it's a short summary. There are really many more records that support this, but you might want to know in one shot what the whole thing is about. Then you can drill down to details. Then you can answer ad hoc queries. So we have some window in the top middle here to create simple queries, and interactively the system will find the results for you and display all the key findings and let you drill down to details. So what are the main features of the dashboard that generates, that InsightD provides? So first, it's an interactive dashboard. So we can allow the customization for the users. They can look, slice the data using different dates, or maybe products or country, or illness, so some therapeutic area, and so on. And they can also see the results being updated in real time. We can provide multiple visualizations. I will be showing them, and all these visualizations are interactive. So it's a unique way to look at all your company's data through some very simple display. So you do not need to worry about the all the intricacies of the data, but you'll see the big picture. You'll see the forest for the trees. You can drill down to the individual document level if necessary. Now, let us look at InsightD itself, and then if you are interested, we can go through the responses that we're getting from users of InsightD. So as I mentioned, behind the scenes, there is some complex structure. So this is what InsightD looks like, the type of the analysis. But the beauty of the solution is that you don't need to know about any of these. So you can go to the dashboard, and in the dashboard, so you see the big picture. So you see, as I said, it's an invented data, so there are some strange names of the drugs here, but you see all data available to your company. These can be millions of documents. They can be coming from different formats. Some of them can be scanned documents, some can, and on which we use OCRing. Some will be coming from the call center, so the communications had been converted to voice to text. Some can be coming from social media, and so on. And you see the very concise representation of that. If you are interested in specific dates, so you can specify what would be your start date. For example, you want to start not from the 5th, but from the 31st of January. And also you can specify so what will be the ending dates. So you can play with it a different way. So you see how things change. You can get rid of this filter if you want. You can specify on a particular product, for example, this pediatrics, and you can do the drill down to what things look like for this in Brazil. So if you double click you see all the corresponding records for Brazil and this drug. If you click once, you just see the monitored topics with their frequency. You see the emerging topics. You can so these are the top categories that come up, but there are many more that the system finds. So you'll see here that discount program, it's light green, so it is an emerging topic. The dark green is something that we want to monitor. So this is our focus. This is something that we are aware of. And you see the discount program also will be in on this graph as well. So it's right here. It's topic number 1. We can try and focus, for example, on on drug administration. So we click here and you see what exactly people are talking about. Or if you're interested, what's the discount program? So you can see what people discuss about that. Other people are not specialists in this particular drug. They are specialists in that drug. So they will see a specialized picture. If they want to see what are the issues for this drug in France, they can click here. Sorry, I double clicked. And they can see what are the issues in France. If they are interested in that, if they want maybe to start their analysis here because they are located in France and they are dealing with this drug, they're responsible for this drug only. When they open the system, they want to see this view. They can save this view, and so they can create these views. And I just created this view already. So when you save current view, the system lets you name this view, and it becomes one of the views in your list. So you can send it to your colleagues, for example, or you can open it. So, for example, I can go out of this drill down, and if I open the corresponding view, so this news layer on issues in France, the system will immediately show me the corresponding filter. So I can send this filter to my colleagues. And if you have a team of 300 people collaborating on this, it's extremely important. So they can quickly draw attention of each other to that. And the filters are global. So if you select this drug, so filters on the left are global. If you select the filter on the left, on one tab, you'll see it on the others. France will not be a global filter because it is located on the right. So this is used for my immediate analysis. But the report is multi-page report. So there are other views that I can get. For example, what is the resolution rate, how well we're answering questions about use layer phone. So I do not need to select it again. It's already selected. I can see what type of requests we're getting, who is asking in what language. So I can click, for example, on the country Japan, and you'll see what people are asking, what questions they're going to ask in Japan. You click on Brazil, and patterns will be quite different.
Sergey,
Yes.
Sergey, we have a question in the chat, and I think can you look at it?
I can look. Maybe it would be better if I answer questions in the end, if you don't mind.
Okay, of course. Fine.
All right. So for other types of results, so we can do sentiment analysis, as I mentioned. So here people are talking about the pen, for example. So we can click on negative things about the pen, and you see that the main thing is when the pen doesn't work, or it's broken, or something is wrong with the piston, and so on. So you can check, for example, here would be all the records where people are talking about they're asking for a replacement of the pen for some reason because it wasn't working. So we can also run sentiment analysis. with the help of generative AI. And here you can see, for example, again, we click on usually a phone, and we select, so people are complaining about injection. What do they have to say? And you see how the system provides the short summary of all the records that, so it created what people are talking about when they talk about injections. And for each of the topics, we can provide the records. It can be a long document. So we can provide a short summary on the level of the document as well. So every time we select a record, the system will be creating the summary of that. And as I mentioned, we can do the ad hoc analysis. So for example, you can formulate here some simple search queries, or you can start looking for complex patterns. This search engine supports our PDL, pattern definition language. So you can look for things that occur in the same linguistic context, for example, or that certain words should be in certain forms, or something should not be included, or things that you encounter should be in the same sentence, or they should be within a certain distance from each other, and many more things. So let me do a simplest search here, for example, for COVID and vaccine. And the system, and let me deselect usually a phone because it's not the drug that. So COVID and vaccine. So now you see everything related to COVID vaccine, and you can see how we're grouping different records. So the records can be long. So let me find some records that are long. So we create a short snippets. For example, for this record, we create the main thing that would be talking about COVID and vaccine. So it identifies, so we provide the short summary. And then once you get the results, and every person will see different results, so each of these 300 people in your medical team, they will see a completely different universe of insights, because they will be drilling down to things that are of importance to them, or we can program the system so when they open the system, they will see only those results that are relevant to them right away without any clicking. And they will be working with them. Once they draw certain conclusions, they can save the views, and then they can export the results. Now they need to convey these things to the whole company. So we can export the file. You can select which views, which sheets of this report you want to output. And you can specify, so for example, you can output it to PowerPoint. So when I click export, the system exports the corresponding results. So this is something that was exported from this report, and you will see the different selections, the drill down selections that people made. And here they will be able to add any comments, provide some annotations, discussions, and so on. So we create a collection of slides that they can work with. All right. So with that, let me probably pause here and show the last thing. So when the system gets deployed at a company, and I'm going to show the results of our deployment at one of the largest pharma companies. Here we surveyed the users, and you can see that the speed of generating insights was really good for them. The system was really easy to use. They were getting high quality data out of the system when they verify, when they drill down to the underlying data, they see that the data actually supports what was the insights that were created. And they get real value out of answering these questions. It is important. So the process of introducing this in a very large pharma company took several years because people tend to do things the way they're used to, and to help them introduce the new insight discovery system, you have to demonstrate the real value of the generated insights. So for each different team of about maybe 20 people working on a particular topic, our advocates in this company, the first users, the pioneers, they were creating different dashboards and selling this idea to these new groups. And gradually it got introduced to almost the entire company. And people are using it a lot. They use it frequently, and they really shortened the time to find information by about 50 to 75%. The cost benefits are pretty significant for introducing such a solution, because this insight discovery process, it's a very labor-intensive thing, and it's very expensive. You have to use people who really understand the data. So based on 50% savings, it is just direct time savings. I'm not talking about savings in quality of the insights, which are more difficult to quantify. If you use 75%, the savings can be close for a standard team of about 300 people. Cost savings can be close to $1.5 million from just that. And then we have lots of feedback from product owners, from legal medical liaisons, from pharmacists, and many more roles. We have very different but many positive evaluations of their experience of working with InsightD. So this is all coming from the same pharma company. What research scientists find in it, what customer service managers find, what healthcare administrators, they find different things, but all of these things are very valuable to the company. And now let me answer the questions. Maybe we should do it the following way. If Jace, you can read the questions to me, and I will try to provide concise answers.
Yes, sure. So the first question was, are the filters which are set on the on the web report, are they created while developing, or people were, Sri in particular from BA was interested in knowing a bit more about the filters.
So these are filters that these are filters that can be created by Megaputer when we're deploying the solution for you, or they can be created by the customer. But typically, you have to design these filters for the teams that are going to use them, because again, the people who are making decisions, it's too complex for them to create additional filters. So when designing this system, you will have, so first we build the analysis scenario. You can do it yourself, but PolyAnalyst is a platform. So you really have to learn what different things do here. And this script, the analysis script, it can be complicated, so the system produces really meaningful results for you. Once this script is designed, it generates outputs. So outputs, they look like that. You can take these outputs, and any of these outputs, they can be moved to the dashboard. Filters is just one of the things. So it's the type of the output of the table. So I can specify filters of different types here. So you can create them yourself as well, but when we're implementing such a solution for a pharma company, we actually take care of everything and provide the final dashboard that is being tested on their users, fine-tuned through iteratively, and then it is deployed for the entire company. All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, so Sergey, the follow-up to this is which node is used to develop the filters in polyanalyst?
It is, as I mentioned, so these are any table can be that has values in certain column. It can be used as a filter. So you just bring this in here, and it becomes a new filter for you.
Makes
So
sense.
there is a way to build dashboards. So that there is this is the interface for building dashboards. So all of these things I can customize these. So each of them they have certain properties. So you can change the color palette, you can change the way it looks, what it displays, the fonts, the layout, vertical, horizontal, axis, and many more.
Got it. The second question would be how easy is it to integrate the web reports to a SharePoint site?
You can do that, so we can teach you how to make these reports part of any type of portal, how they can be incorporated in the system.
Got it. And the next question is the Inside D a pre-configured node?
It is a pre-configured node for what I'm showing is something pre-configured for a large pharma company. In reality, so we're using lots of, for example, domain-specific dictionaries and ontologies. In the medical world, this would be dictionaries like MESH, SNOMED CT, RxNorm for so MESH and SNOMED CT, they're for medical body parts, medical illnesses, relations between them, symptoms, and so on. RxNorm would be dictionaries for drugs and active substances. Then we create, actually for the customer, we can create specialized dictionaries depending on what the customer is interested in. For the company that I'm talking about, we had to create lists of different clinical studies, and these do not exist, so they have to be produced based on the analysis of the data with the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence tools and some human intelligence as well to just verify the results. But without machine learning and AI, it would be impossible to generate such things. It's a complex thing. So, provide a short answer. It is partially configured. It would be, it can be configured further for the needs of a specific customer. For example, if for a financial institution, the configuration would be quite different from the medical institution.
Thank you, Sergey. It was a great presentation. This is Aniket, by the way, and I have configured similar dashboard for the manufacturing and data environment, and I've used word cloud and similar things to view this. So this was very insightful to see all the other ways the word cloud is assisting in sentiment and the other analysis. That's why I was asking if it was pre-configured, but I can reach out to your team further to get some information on how that was done. So that'll help me.
Right. In this area, thank you for the question. This area, one size does not fit all. So we
Absolutely.
can provide certain things that will be pre-configured, but this will be for a specific application. For example, for a call center in a particular industry. But for a different task, we would need to do modifications. We can do it jointly with you, or we can do it as a company. We have a consulting team that can help, that can build a pre-configured thing that will be working for you. But it typically takes two to tango. So we'll be asking your users whether they like it or what they would like. We'll be offering different scenarios, the different views, and asking which ones are useful and which ones aren't.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sergey.
All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, Jim, are you able to?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first, it's good to see you again, Sergey. It's been a while. Um, I had a couple questions, and I think I've started getting a part of this. So this is really considered like in a dashboard add-on for the current polyanalysts that we have. It's not like a separate product.
That's correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
BI is the capability that we were developing very quickly over the last probably 8 to 10 years, and we are competing. So for example, in this large pharma company that I was using as an example today, we are replacing the click view BI system because they needed to have something that can work with textual data, extract insights from textual data. And Click is a beautiful system, by the way, but having the analysis of textual data was of critical importance for them. So they had to switch to polyanalyst. So we are competing now with Click and Tableau in this space. Some of the features of these larger companies are still better in visualization and interactivity and so on, but we're catching up, and we have some unique advantages because we can do some complex advanced analysis, both structured data and textual analysis, generate these insights and then provide the dashboard, which Click or Tableau will not be able to do for you.
Okay. And even though this demonstration was primarily just pharma, it could then, I mean, it could be modified then if we wanted to look at medical procedures that are having different adverse events, or we wanted to look at, all falls events for the last, 2 years or something to try to identify themes. I mean, it's tailorable to more than just pharmaceutical.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
We have the underlying platform that is completely flexible. So
Okay.
we can build the solution for any application field. But
Okay.
to make it really meaningful and insightful for the new field, you have to apply some additional knowledge. For example, we would be using specialized ontologies, specialized dictionaries. We would exclude things that are too trivial for you, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Okay. And then I saw in the email that they sent earlier that this is being recorded. Would we be able to share that? Like our immediate supervisor and some of our admin staff couldn't be here on the call, but I'm sure would like to see the presentation as well. Will there be a link that we can forward to them to review this as well and to get their inputs?
Yes, Josh, the meeting is recorded, right? So we will be able to share.
Okay,
Yes,
excellent.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Our immediate supervisor is currently like traveling back from DC and wasn't going to be able to participate. So I know she would definitely be interested in seeing this. So that'll be good to know.
Great.
All right. Thank you, Sergey.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Yes, Sergey, we have one coming up from Soshana. So early on in the presentation, we mentioned using GUI logic to fill in the missing data. Will any information that is filled in by the software be marked as such?
So what we are doing, we are actually scanning the textual data, all available textual data, and frequently, for example, the name of the drug that is not present in the structured field, we can find it in the textual data, and our system can extract such things, or the name of the institution. So we fill in the gaps. It's not always possible. If the data is not present anywhere, we cannot invent it. But we're using this fuzzy logic to try and export these to the structured fields. So we're creating certain kind of meta information from textual data. Did I understand the question and answer it or not?
Sushana, are we good? Or do you have, if you have any follow-up questions, please just unmute yourself and we can take forward the discussion.
All right.
All right.
So do we have any more questions or?
No, Sergey, on the chat
Okay.
we have covered all. Yeah, she has a follow-up question.
Okay.
Let's wait. If she types or she unmutes.
So I'm glad people are asking questions. Means that they saw something interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Carrie, for your time. I'm not sure if I'm taking the name correctly, but thank you for your time. Okay, so we have the question, Sergey. If
Mm-hmm.
a drug name is mentioned, how does the system know if that the drug name is relevant to the rest of the data, or is added information in general?
So we are using, so polyanalyst is capable of doing linguistic analysis, so we can check whether this drug would be in association in the same linguistic context with something that is of interest to us. So we can formulate certain questions to the data. And we can be using also AI techniques. So polyanalyst has a tool called AI Assistant, where you can formulate prompts, what you are looking for, and the system will be using neural networks, transformers, to identify things that are of interest to you. So here would be the interface of the AI tool. So you can do summaries, you can do entity extraction, or you can ask a question, and you can formulate a prompt what you're looking for. So uh, we will be glad to show this in a more detailed presentation of the generative AI tools, but I think it's a specific question that probably is a little bit beyond of what I'm trying to show. So we have techniques for doing that, but it takes some effort. All right. So if there are no more questions, I would like to thank everybody for attending. I hope it was interesting and wish you have a good day, and hope we'll talk more. Please feel free to send us some questions and requests by email or otherwise. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Yeah. Sergey,
Yeah.
answered the question. I think she has a follow-up
Okay.
comment. For example, if the report is about aspirin side effects, the
Mm-hmm.
report might also mention other drugs the patient is on. How can it pick out that the side effects, what the report is about, is in regards to aspirin and not one of the other drugs?
So we would need to actually look for the drug that is related to certain to adverse events, and there are ways to do this, but it would be a separate 1 hour demonstration lecture to show how this can be actually done in polyanalyst. So there are ways to do this. So we can be looking for things that are in the same linguistic context, that are related to each other, and removing those that are not related. There are techniques for that. All right.
Yeah. So she's looking forward to more webinars from us regarding the follow-up topics that you just mentioned.
Okay. Good. So thanks everybody. We exhausted the time. I know that the meeting was longer than we anticipated. So everybody have a good day.
Thank you, Sergey, and thank you everyone for the interaction that we had.
Take care.